Alright guys, I'm back to do this Pixar review for the third time now. The first time my video messed up, the second time I guess the dog pooped. I figured I would just start it over instead of having to let you guys sit here. Yeah, I have a puppy who pooped on the floor. I was literally trying to get him outside, but he was too late. He already got the poop. I figured instead of having you guys sit there for a second, I figured I would just redo the whole video because I wasn't very far in the video. But anywho, I'm going to be doing a review on a Pixar movie. Another one. So, if you guys enjoy those reviews, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It would really help me out a lot. I'm at 183 subs. Thank you guys for the support. I should be at more subs, but I feel like my sub count is kind of slow, honestly. I'm only getting a few subs like every so often. And I mean, I know small channels start out kind of slow on getting subs, but mine are like really slow. I feel like YouTube's not recommending my videos for some reason. A lot of my videos have not even been hitting even 100 views. I have 183 subs. So if you guys have people who are interested in reviews or gaming videos or anything like that, show them my videos. Because the more subscribers I get, the better my channel will do. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say though. But thank you guys for the support. How about I show off the puppy real quick? Maybe. Oh, that's wrong. Oops. For some reason, it ain't working here. Oh, I was going to show you guys the puppy here. So you guys can see him. He's down there. See, that's him. Oh, he got right in the camera there. That's the puppy. That's the puppy. So, yeah. That's him though. I figured I'll show him off so I don't forget later. Yeah, that's the little stinker that pooped on the floor. That's alright though. He's a puppy. He doesn't know any better. But I had to clean it up. I was trying to catch him, but he did it too fast. So, he should be good now. Hopefully he doesn't pee on the floor or anything. But anywho, guys, hopefully nothing else happens and I can do this video. Because if it messes up again, I'm just going to do it tomorrow. Because I was doing this on Friday and my video thing messed up. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to try another place to store my videos to. So because I was storing them on my phone, but I guess the program I used to capture stuff didn't like it. So I'm going to have to find somewhere else to store my videos. But anywho, I don't have much else to say, so let's go ahead and talk about this Pixar movie. So, The Incredibles. I gotta tell you guys, I really liked the first Incredibles movie. I really did. I felt like it was a really good movie. Besides its flaws, I really did like the first Incredibles movie. I felt like it was really memorable and the villain was really good in that movie. And they decided to make a sequel to this movie. They decided to make Incredibles 2. So I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on Incredibles 2. This movie came out in 2018, as you guys see up there at the top of the release date. It came out in 2018. Now, I had the opportunity to go see this in the theaters, but I didn't. And that was probably because When I was younger, I wasn't really into the first Incredibles movie. I really wasn't. I don't know why, I just never got into it. But as I got older, I got into the movie. Now, just like the first movie, I went in this film blind. Now, unlike the first movie where I've seen it when I was little, I did not see this film ever. I've never seen this film. Like I said, I didn't get to see it in the theaters, and I didn't watch it until this year, and I bought it on DVD. So how is this film? Is this film better than the original, or is it a piece of garbage, and it ruins everything that the first film did? Well, let's talk about it. So, what is the story about in this movie? What's the story about? Well, the story in this movie is it's about like just like the first movie, they're trying to like get the law fixed so where they can be superheroes again. Which honestly, I gotta say, that's kind of stupid, because in the first movie at the end, the crowd was cheering at them. So I'm not sure why they didn't lift the law after that. Because they well, it's because it doesn't make any sense why they didn't do that. Because in the first movie, when they defeated that robot that Syndrome created, basically the crowd was cheering and they were happy. But in this movie, it's right back where it started before. It picks up actually after where it left off, where they're defeating the Underminer, which only had a few lines in the first movie. I'm surprised that this voice actor was able to pull off the exact same voice, considering he only had a few lines in the original movie at the end of the movie. Now, I know he's the same voice actor who voiced characters in all the Pixar movies. He voiced Mac, he voiced Hank, Hank Ham, I think his name is Ham on Toy Story. He also voiced the Abominable Snowman. He's voiced many characters. So having him, voice this underground guy for only a few lines in the first movie and able to pick it up exactly several years after the first film and be able to pull off the voice, that's impressive. That's really impressive. I'm not gonna lie, that's impressive. I wouldn't have been able to do that. Well, I mean, I guess I could if I had lots of practice, but even then, that's gonna be hard on voice actors who only voice a few lines. And that his voice is a bit off compared to his other voice works on the movies like Ham and in the Abominable Snowman. So his voice sounds a bit off. Like, it doesn't sound. It still sounds similar, but it's not the same voice he does with the other characters. But anywho, so The Incredibles 2, that's basically where it starts, and it's kind of stupid. It's stupid how they just suddenly just have a problem. They just have a problem where superheroes can't do their work again. I mean, I know they destroyed the city fighting the Undergrinder and all that, but I don't think that makes much sense why the crowd would just blame the superheroes. I don't really get it. I guess it's just the townspeople are idiots, I guess. I'm not sure. So yeah, but I gotta say though, there are some things I do like about this film. One thing I like about this film is it carries on from the first film with Jack-Jack's powers. See, it reveals Jack-Jack has powers when he defeats Syndrome. Well, he basically attacks him when he's being kidnapped. He attacks him. So it reveals Jack has powers. There is a short on this. There is a short too with that, but the fact that it took him this long to make a movie about that, that's crazy. I don't know why it took him over a decade to make a movie about that, but it did. And I do like how it carries on with that. And I do like seeing Bob, I think his name's Bob. We'll call him Mr. Incredible because I don't remember all their names. But Mr. Incredible basically takes care of the kids. He bonds with them, which is very sweet. I like that. I also like the moment where Jack is slapping him, trying to keep him awake, reading him a story. That was pretty funny. So I like that. I also like some of the action sequences in this movie too, which are pretty cool. With Mrs. Incredible. But there's a lot of problems I have with this movie too. A lot of problems. There is a lot of problems I have with this movie. I told you guys some things I like about it, but I'll tell you guys some more in a second. I want to get some of the bad stuff out of the way first, because I'm going to talk about Elastigirl, or aka Mrs. Incredible. So for some reason, they wanted them to wear their old suits going to this thing. I'm not sure why they wanted to wear their old suits. I guess to show, maybe they wanted to show them show the world the classic superheroes, so that way people, because they're well known for the classic superheroes in their suits. I mean, it's nice to see them in their old suits, but I really don't get why they made them wear their old suits. I don't really get that. And then for some reason they want Mrs. Incredible, aka Elastigirl, to go be kicking butt and fighting crime, even though she doesn't want to. And what's stupid is Violet, her daughter, points that out, like how she doesn't want to do it. I mean, why? Basically, why is she doing it when she is against the whole superhero business? And they just basically dodge the question. They just dodge it. But yeah, they dodged the question, and it's kind of a shame. It's kind of a shame they just dodge it. I mean, I don't mind seeing Mrs. Incredible be Elastigirl again and fighting crime. I don't mind that. But the fact that they write her that way, I don't really get that. I feel like them fighting crime again would be nice and all. It'd be nice to see them fight crime again and all that. And speaking of The Incredibles, I want to point this out too. This is something pretty interesting about The Incredibles. If you guys don't know, there was a superhero show, I think in the early 2000s. It came out before this. I think it was the 90s or early 2000s. There was a superhero show. I forgot the name of it. I really did. I forgot the name of it. I had the name of it in my older video that I screwed up on. Speaking of which, I'm going to probably check that out real quick. Sorry if I'm checking this out. I'll make sure it's still recording. Okay, it's still recording. Okay, good. Want to make sure it's recording still. Oh, I really don't remember the name of that show. Freakazoid. That's what it was. Freakazoid. Freakazoid, they basically copy his design. They really do. In fact, Syndrome's design is based off of him, which is pretty, I mean, some people might find it lazy. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's cool. It's kind of like a Spaceballs kind of effect to it. Only they're not making fun of Freakazoid. They're basically just parodying it. I think it works, though. Some people might find it lazy, but, I mean, if Disney starts, trying to sue Warner Brothers for the show, I'm going to be like, then I'll have a problem with it, because Warner Brothers owns Freakazoid, and if they start trying to sue them, or they try to sue other people for copying their ideas, even though they've done it with The Incredibles before, then I'll have a problem with it. But I think it works, though. I think it's fine. Their suits look really nice, and yeah, you can definitely see the similarities with them. with the masks, the suits, and Syndrome's hair and all that. You can see that. But this movie though, in the first one, I still like their new designs. I think the Mr. Incredible in his old blue suit looks pretty cool too, but I like his red suit better. I think it looks better. But that's just me. But I gotta say though, I do have some more problems with this movie too that I'm not really a fan of. I told you guys my thoughts about the whole Elastigirl going to fight crime and the movie not really explaining it. Another problem I have, I gotta say, it's the way the kids treat Mr. Incredible. I feel so bad for him. I really do in this movie. He's trying his best to be a father. He really is. I mean, I know at one point he drops off Jack at I forgot her name, Edna, I forgot her name. But he drops the baby off at her place, and I mean, at this point, you can't really blame him because he's got a lot to do, and Jack's powers are outrageous. So it makes sense why he would drop him off. I mean, he was made me think he was trying to do it to get help figuring out how to control his powers, but I think he just wanted a break. I mean, we all need breaks from kids sometimes. That's why we have babysitters. So that makes sense. But the thing is, though, is all the kids kind of treat him like scum in this movie. They're not as bad as they were in the first movie. Mainly Dash. Dash is probably the worst of the kids. He's freaking obnoxious. But I gotta say that there's a moment where Dash is messing with Mr. Incredible's remote and trying to mess with his car, and he doesn't want him to do it, and he still does it anyway. And then Violet flat out blames him for her boyfriend's mind being wiped. Like, I really don't like that because it's not his fault. He just had to explain it. I really don't know why they even blanked his mind in the first place. Basically, they set up this scene just like the short they do. They even end it where he's like, he wishes his mind he can forget the thing. So they basically blank his mind because he figured out Violet's identity by discovering her taking off her mask. But I mean, he was figuring it out anyway, so I'm like, why did they blank his mind? Plus, Violet is his girlfriend, so I mean, eventually he's gonna find out anyway because he's gonna get busy with her. You know, when they hit that age, he's gonna get busy with her, and you know she can't just keep that mask on when they get busy. I'm saying it like that because that's how Syndrome said it on the first movie. God, that was an epic line too he had on the first movie. That was an epic line. I really like that line where he's like, and got busy. Yeah, that was a pretty epic line. But yeah, but I gotta say though, I'm just not really I'm just not a big fan of superheroes getting their friends' minds wiped and stuff. Sometimes it works, but for the most part, it's just kind of annoying. Especially when it's your own fiance, like. I mean, they're gonna find out your identity anyway. I mean, could you imagine trying to like date someone and keeping your secret? I mean, I know it's a cartoon and stuff, but still, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why I'm questioning it. I mean, it's a cartoon, but still, I mean, I don't know. And make sure this thing's still recording too. Okay, it's still recording. All right, but. Yeah, I do have a problem with that. I have a problem with her blaming her father, Mr. Incredible, for all that stuff, and because it's not it's not his fault. He was just trying to look after her and all that. And another thing I gotta say is, speaking of Mr. Incredible, I hate how he discovers Jack has powers and then they completely dodge it for about 30 to 45 minutes of the film. They completely dodge it. They don't even bring it up until like the very, like, close to the very end of the movie. They bring it up. I don't know why they just dodge it. I mean, I know they basically explain that Mr. Incredible felt bad and guilty because he wants to prove to his wife he's capable of taking care of the kids and handling stuff himself, because his wife can be a total bitch sometimes. She really can be. Or I shouldn't use the word bitch. Sorry, I mean, that's kind of a little bit too harsh. I mean, I should use the word overprotected. Sorry, that's better. Overprotected, yes. But she can be overprotected sometimes, and I can drive him bonkers. Yeah, sorry for saying the word bitch. That's kind of a little too much. I mean, she really isn't being a bitch, but sometimes she can be mean to her husband, but by being overprotected and stuff. But I don't like how they have I mean, that's the whole movie. That's what people were hyped to go to the theaters and see. They were hyped to go to the theaters and see Jack with powers. And they go to the theaters and they watch the movie, and there's hardly any scenes with Jack having powers. I mean, they could have Mr. Incredible trying to hide the powers from his kids, instead of them just dodging it for most of the movie, like it's nothing. Like, they could have done it at the restaurant, where he was using his power to the restaurant and they were trying to hide it or something. I don't know. Instead of them just dodging it. So yeah, there's some problems with it. But one of my biggest problems with this movie is gotta be the villain. Yes, we got the villain. Now, unlike the last movie in Coco, where the villain is pathetic, like the villain is, I mean, it's a great twist, but the villain is pathetic, because they hardly do anything with the villain. They kind of do a little bit more with the villain in this movie. The villain is this lady. Now, I knew about that. I've seen people review the movie, and I knew about that. And about the whole Jack, and that's how it began. And how she brainwashed all the people. She did. But I didn't know a lot about this movie. I completely pretty much forgot about this movie. Oh, I also wanted to bring up, too, real quick before I forget, this movie does have bad words in it. Yeah, they use the word damn, they use the word hell and all that. So they use some bad words in this movie, which is funny because this is probably the only Pixar movie they actually do this in. And I listened closely. I rewind them. I can't remember what scene it was, but I rewind it a few times, turned it up, and I'm pretty sure one of the characters said damn. I know one of them said hell. I know that. Now, I know they use hell a little bit. Like in Madagascar, they had a scene where Alex's sign for help broke, and it turned into the word hell. But the way they use it in this movie is kind of strange. Especially this is a Disney movie. And you know how Disney is with kid-friendly crap. So yeah, seeing that is just crazy. Well, just hearing that is just crazy. But anyhow, let's gonna get back to the whole villain thing. So the villain, is basically, she wants to get rid of superheroes. So she's like Syndrome. She wants to get rid of superheroes. So she brainwashes them to make them look bad in an interview. Now, I know some people don't like this because you know, she basically, they don't like this because she's basically trying to get rid of superheroes and all that, and they're not really, you know, well, basically they are, you know, already not superheroes because they can't fight crime. But here's the thing, her brother is promoting the superheroes, trying to get them back into action. So I'll let that one slide there. Even beside the first movie ending with them becoming superheroes again, I'll let this slide. I kind of wish they would have made her brainwashed the superheroes to fight by her side, but they didn't. Now you may think that sounds great. This villain has a great twist. Well, I mean she does. They don't hint at it too much, like they do with the Coco movie, but they do hint at her being a great villain, a twist villain, and she basically brainwashes everyone, which is a pretty cool plan. So why is she a pathetic villain? Well, she's got no personality. She's got no personality. She really doesn't. She's kind of just. I mean, even she even looks. Hold on a second, my cat's at one now. Sorry, my cat wanted out. He's in the bedroom. Anywho, as I was saying, you guys maybe I was basically gonna say that, yeah, she's basically a kind of pathetic villain. She doesn't got any personality. They hardly focus on her. She doesn't reveal her plot until the very end, and they defeat her. They defeat the superheroes who turn against the kids very easy. I like how it's the kids who save the day. I do like that, but I feel like it's too fast. Like they push it too far to the end, and it just feels really really fast paced. It really does. It feels like it goes too fast, and I like for them to have more fight scenes because it goes way too fast. And there's that one point where she literally tries to suffocate Mrs. Incredible. She tries to suffocate her by making her fly in a plane up to space. I'm not sure why she just didn't throw her out the window. I mean, suffocating someone, I guess, could work too, but I don't know why she didn't throw her out the window. Now I know that I'm supposed to root for the hero, and I am, but I'm just saying, for a villain just trying to suffocate someone, I feel like that's just kind of weak. I think they could have just thrown her out the window, because we'd seen Mrs. Incredible before she could turn it to a parachute and float down, so maybe she could thrown her out and she could have fallen in the water, and that would have been nice. I don't like how she saved her at the end and took her to jail. I can't like to her just to have a death. I know that, taking villains to jail and stuff is, what people do, but I kind of miss the whole iconic deaths that the villains had on Disney movies. I'll tell you, the last time we've had an iconic Disney death, it's been years. It really has. It's been forever. It's been forever since there's been an iconic death on Disney. Which sucks, because they used to have really iconic deaths. Now they don't. Yeah, now they really don't, though. And it's kind of a shame, because I feel like they could do so much with the ideas with villain dying. But taking her to jail, I guess, would be kind of good too. But I don't know. I just don't. I feel like they could have just had her just fall out of a plane and just kill her. I don't know. To be fair, in real life, I probably would have saved the villain and put it in jail. But this is a cartoon. Like I said, missed the whole iconic villain deaths that Disney used to have. But I don't know though. I really don't know what to say there. It's kind of just a thing they don't really have anymore and all that. But also, I want to ask you guys: does this villain remind you of anyone? Because I look at this villain on this movie, and she reminds me a lot of the character on Megamind, the news reporter, except without the large forehead. Like, doesn't she look a lot like her? Because to me, she does. She looks a lot like the villain on there. Like, she really does. Not a villain. I mean, news reporter. Because I think she does look, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to borrow designs or whatever. Well, I wouldn't say that you borrow this design from the Megamind, but I think it's kind of interesting how they look so much similar. But it's all right. The Megamind borrowed. They actually took off made a Metro Man a knockoff of Superman. So I think it's all right. I really don't mind that they have similar designs, but I just find it kind of weird how she looks a lot like the news reporter from Megamind. But yeah, I do think they could have done so much more for. I kind of wish I mean, she is a bit more threatening. She does have a she does brainwash the superheroes and stuff, but if you compare him to Syndrome, then I mean, I don't think any Pixar villain is gonna beat Syndrome. Syndrome was an awesome villain. He was threatening. He was funny. He was memorable. He had a exaggerated personality. I don't think anybody could beat him. But I kind of, I don't think that this one's really that good. I don't think she's awful. Like, I don't hate her like I hate the villain in Coco, but I definitely don't think she's that great either. Speaking of Coco, I didn't bring this up in Coco. I didn't even think about this actually, but in Coco, there was this thing where they where the characters die after they got forgotten. So this grandfather, the real grandfather of the little kid who entered the dead world, he was being forgotten, which makes no sense because he was forgotten, but his family knew who he was. They just hated him. So I really don't know why they would have forgotten him. But I brought that up because I didn't bring that up there. See, I'll do that sometimes. I'll bring up stuff that I forgot to mention in other videos. I've done that in my past reviews too. So yeah, I mean, that's nothing to do with this movie, but I forgot to bring that up, so I figured I'd bring that up there. I'll do the same thing with this movie too. If I forget to bring it up, I'll bring it up in another review. Another thing I want to say too, about this movie that's actually pretty good. I really do like this thing that they did, is the intro. My God, the intro in this movie is freaking awesome. Like, it is freaking awesome. Like, I told you guys, I'm not the biggest fan of the new intro. I will always prefer the CGI Castle intro. I think it was just better looking. I like the theme better. I like the way it just zooms out. Like, it zooms out to the castle. I think that was a lot better intro. But this one was really good too. This one was awesome. I brought this one up in my my thoughts on the new castle intro. I think that's in my thoughts and theories videos. If you guys want to check that out, you guys can. The video was actually an hour long. I wasn't expecting it to be that long, but it was. So sorry for making that video so long, but I brought that up, and I gotta say, it's still awesome. You know what sucks though? They only used it in the opening. Disney was like, you know what? Let's just be lazy. Let's just use it in the opening and just not use it in the end credits, which is bullshit. Because I'm like, why didn't they use this in the end credits too? That would have been awesome. See, Disney does this thing where they, at the end credits, they'll show the castle logo. They've done this since the first Toy Story, the first Pixar movie, Toy Story. They've done this. They'll show the castle afterwards. So I don't know why they didn't just show off the red castle intro then too, because I really like it. I like the red effect. I like the music. I like the it's basically an extended version of the theme, the same theme they used. Well, actually, I guess it's a little bit different, but it's basically a similar theme because they used the same ending theme they used in the first Incredibles intro for the CGI castle version back when the first one came out. So at the end with the lamp segment, they use the theme. It goes doom. That was pretty cool, but they do not use it at the end credits. I have no idea why. I just don't really get that. It's just annoying. I don't know why they can't just use it. But I still think the intro is really cool. I think it's amazing. I like how it's 2D animated. I think it's a really cool intro. Definitely not as good as the CGI Castle intro, but out of all the new intros, the new versions that they used, themes, and because they had different themes too and all that, this one is by far the most awesome looking one. But I'm going to go ahead and give this movie a score, though, between 0 and 120 points. This movie is going to go ahead, I'm going to give it 58 points. Yes, 58 points. So 58 points. So, yes, 58 points. Now that you may think that means I hate this movie. Well, it's basically a way lower score than when I gave the first one. The first one had its problems too, but this one has a lot more problems. But that doesn't mean I hate this movie. I do not. In fact, 58 means it's meh. It's actually in the middle. It's in the middle of the mess. Because 70 to 40 is meh. And this is basically pretty much in the middle. Yeah, it's pretty much in the middle though. So this film is not bad. It's not bad at all. I just don't like it like the original. I don't think the villain's as iconic. I don't think, the pacing is off. It really is, it's off. I didn't bring that up. I brought that up in my last review. I forgot to bring it up here. But yes, the pacing is off. It really is. It's really off, and I just think, overall, the other film was more funny. I actually had some more chuckles watching it, and yeah, the kids were more annoying in that movie than they are in this movie. I just think it's just a better movie. But this movie's okay, too. I think it's alright. I think it's definitely worthy of a meh. But from this film and onward, not the movie Onward, but Onward in general, most of the Pixar movies are going to be mixed reviews because most of them have received mixed reviews. Besides the movie Soul and Luca, most of them have been mixed reviews. So, even this movie was mixed reviews too. Some people hated this movie, some people liked it. It was mixed. But I told you guys my thoughts on it. So tell me your guys' thoughts in the comments below, and I have a comment question for this too. Do you guys prefer Incredibles 1 or 2? For me, the first one's better. I think Syndrome steals the show. I think he's a much better villain. And I think that the story is just a lot better too. But tell me your guys' thoughts in the comments below. And remember to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And thank you guys for the help by subscribing to my channel. If I missed anything in this review, I'll bring it up in my next review, because I think I missed some stuff. I need to start writing this stuff down again, but I got the puppy and all that, and I was up with him all night on Thursday night, so I figured I'd just watch the movie. So on around midnight on Friday morning. So yeah. Anywho, see you guys all next time, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.